Eloise, Ethan, Alice, Daisy, well spoken, and I just want to say how thrilled I am to be here with the Wayside. I saw Graham Long here a moment ago, really one of the most inspirational leaders I've come to know during my time in public life, and obviously succeeded by John, who's doing a fantastic job. But the Wayside is putting Christ's message into action in a way that, let's say, not all institutions that claim to be Christian do. So it's a great credit to the Wayside. I'll just talk a little bit about teenagers, which is the subject of the discussion. There is nothing more ridiculous than middle-aged or adult people, politicians in particular, mocking or deriding teenagers for expressing political opinions. The pile-on onto Greta Thunberg was surely one of the most ridiculous, absurd exercises. It made all of those know-it-alls in the media and politicians from Donald Trump down attacking her look absolutely ridiculous. And I hope they all had enough self-awareness to realise that it did. Because the truth is that we want teenagers to express opinions and to engage, as Daisy said, in political debate, but to engage respectfully. Respect is absolutely key. I mean, we are the most successful multicultural society in the world. You know, we as Australians are phenomenal at knocking each other and ourselves. You know, we don't take enough pride in what we have achieved here in this country. In this city of Sydney, nearly a third of the people here were not born in Australia. Over half of the people who call Australia home have at least one parent born overseas. The diversity in our nation is extraordinary. There is no comparable developed country, or no country that's comparable to us in the range of diversity. The United States is seen as a great melting pot. We are streets ahead of them in terms of diversity. Now, yet we manage to live together with a fair degree of harmony, under stress from time to time. But what keeps us together is respect, and that is why we have to call out racism, we have to call out intolerance, we have to, teach our children and ourselves and to remind ourselves of the importance of respect. We face some very real problems, and I'll just elaborate a little bit about what Daisy said about the media. When I was a teenager, we had dinosaurs walking around. We had no idea there was a huge brontosaurus. Getting past that brontosaurus. Anyway, seriously, when I was a kid, and in fact, really until about 20 years ago, most people got their information about the world and public affairs and so forth through what you could describe as curated media. So if you wanted to get your views out there, you had to get past a director at the ABC or a radio station or an editor of a newspaper and so forth. And the media had a vested interest in reaching a broad audience. When the Sydney Morning Herald was founded in about 1840, they had on their front page some lines of Alexander Pope, which said, "In moderation placing all my glory, while Tories call me Whig and Whigs a Tory." Now, this was not because the old Fairfaxes were particularly politically broad-minded, but they knew they had to get everyone in Sydney to read their newspaper in order to get the advertising revenues. And so it went. And so then along came FM radio, along came subscription television, then along came the internet. The cost of producing news fell, and the means of disseminating it became more fractionalised. And so now people are able to basically select the news they want. They can choose their own facts. And so whatever outlandish conspiracy theories you have, about Tim Costello and Graham Long and the Martians with whom they're working in the One World conspiracy, there will be a Facebook page, there will be a Twitter stream. You'll be able to get all of that confirmed online. This is a gigantic challenge, and this is it's rocking politics around the world. So the challenge for us is as leaders, whether we're school captains or directors of positive psychology or retired politicians like myself, what we have to do is promote respect and above all ensure that we stick to the facts. It is as though when people start talking about alternative facts, you're in serious trouble. You see this most notably on climate change. I mean, there's a prominent Australian business person I had some issues with years ago on climate science, and he was telling me I was, wrong in believing that global warming was happening and so forth. And I said, look, seriously, what's the basis for that? And he sent me some tracts he had downloaded on the internet. Barking mad stuff. Some of it from the Lyndon LaRouche movement, for heaven's sake. Anyway, I said, look, all right, I will get in touch with some of the top scientists I know and get them to do some points for you. So I thought I'd help him out. And Will Stephan actually did it at the ANU, some of you would know. Anyway, I presented it to him. I said, look, these are the facts. And he said, that's the problem with the ANU. They're in the same conspiracy as the CSIRO and the United Nations. Now, that's the battle we're having. So what we need, truthfully, is more respect, a stronger commitment to the facts and finding the facts, respect for them. And we need to encourage more contributions from young people, from teenagers, encourage respect. Politicians should lead by example. I mean, Question Time is a theatre, a bad theatre. Show business for ugly people, politics. But the message, I suppose, for teenagers and for everyone is that history is made by those who turn up. And so unless you get involved, you're ceding the ground, you're ceding the public forum to others whose motives and agendas may be quite adverse, indeed may be quite dangerous. Thank you.